Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dan, and we are here to talk about the new and upcoming Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta. Should be launching tomorrow. And alongside me, we've got Claymore, also known as the Gaming Claymore.
It's not no more, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, but hey, some people will know
Yeah.
use that from the
Yeah,
community.
yeah. Most
So,
people know me as Gaming Claymore after my multiple name changes, but yeah,
yep, hey, it's all
Clay
that
Claymore.
matters is that we know who you are.
Yeah,
So,
this beta.
yeah, so well, what you guys are watching on screen is a little bit of recording from earlier today. We were playing Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, so don't judge too hard. But I've been kind of sitting here talking with Clay, and I was like, you know what? Let's put these thoughts into a video and talk about kind of the alpha and the beta and what we expect or hope to see, and just break everything down that we experienced and liked and did not like about this alpha, and kind of what we can expect with the beta tomorrow, really.
I think first we should start off with the alpha because we both got to play a bit of the alpha.
Yeah,
Um,
I played pretty much all weekend, and that was the same weekend that the team we had that 48-hour live stream. And
mm,
so not only was I on my personal channel streaming that for like probably close to 10 or so hours over the course of 2 days, but I also was on that team channel for another probably additional 10 or so hours. So there was a lot of gameplay.
and it was the beta was the alpha was really good. Like it started off like those I can't you can't fault the servers. Like they held their own. They opened up a bit early,
Yeah, they
which
did.
turned out to be good. I thought everyone was going to jump on early, but they opened it early enough that the servers could flatten out with all the players incoming, and it runs smoothly throughout the whole weekend. And they even extended it for a period of time as well, for an extra day, which was no, extra, I think it was extra 4 hours in England. But
Yeah, I think it was an additional 4 or 5 hours or something like that, which basically bled into an essentially an extra day. It might as well have been considered an extra day, so that was really nice. And whenever they launched it, you made a comment about them launching it a little bit earlier. We were sitting here hoping that the beta would launch early. I know Clay was sitting here pretty much all day on Modern Warfare, just like clicking, clicking, click, and start. And I know you were super upset because it didn't launch at midnight your time, which is what you were hoping for. I was hoping for it too, for not just the fact of maybe I get to play it early, but for you as well, because I know you're really stoked.
yeah, I was stoked because everyone was saying it started off 6 p.m. UK time, which is GMT +1, and I was like, oh, 6 p.m. I could play this game. Tell everyone that I'm playing it. Then it said 8 p.m. Then it went to midnight, which is like 6 p.m. Central Time, I think it is, and 4 p.m. PDT.
Yeah, but I think it's
And
safe to say, for as far as America is concerned, I think a little bit of what today is ties a little bit into that as to
yeah,
why it didn't launch early.
obviously, hashtag never forget. It's been trending all over Twitter. Rest in peace to all the souls that were in the catastrophic accident that happened on this day.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But that's a talk for another day, another
Yeah,
episode.
that's
Um,
definitely. But so let's kind of break down like things that we liked about the alpha and things that we did not, and what are we hoping that we see roll over into this beta tomorrow. So me personally, I felt really great about the gunplay, the movements of the character, the mechanics felt really nice, and I know that's a big concern for the mass majority of the community is how the game is going to feel because of how the game looked. It looked clunky, it looked heavy, like movements looked really heavy and stuff like that. I mean, how did you feel about that, Clay?
when I first went onto it, I was feeling slow, clunkier in relation to Black Ops 4, where you can slide around, you can like do all these fancy things like slide around corners and stuff like that. Compared to that, it felt slower and clunkier. But when you go with the gunplay and like the peeking around corners, the and just the overall like gameplay of it all, it makes much sense that it's more clunkier and more slower because it's in the past compared to Black Ops 4, so you can't really compare the two because it's different technologies and all that. But I really enjoyed the peeking. I think the peeking's a really good thing. 'Cause it relates to real military procedures. Like if you're in a 4v4 gunfight and you want to take it seriously, it can create an immersion for the player if they want that immersion of peeking around
Absolutely.
corners, tactics like
It
tell them
really
peek left, hold angle.
it really makes you think about your approach to different types of game modes. So like, you know, like me, because we've played a lot together, like Black Ops 4, some World War II and stuff, you know, like I'm either going to use one of two setups. It's going to be like the ICR kit, you know, with basically a run and gun ICR for like mid to long range, or I'm going to run like usually like a SOG or some kind of sub and just go hard. And with that, you know, that rapid healing and stem healing and stuff like that, and running really hard. And one thing I noticed when we were playing that alpha, whether it was me and you playing or me and my other friend Sub, I really had to think about my movement. You can't just run in. Even if you're running like an MP5, like when we got that option to use the MP5, you could not just run in there balls to the wall because you die so much quicker. So that lean mechanic definitely came in handy with some of those map setups and some of those scenarios. So I do agree with you on that. I like that about that game, about the game so far.
And every Scuff player's dream right now, drop shotting's back.
Say that one more time. Every Scuff
player's dream. Or if you have a customized controller with paddles on the back or buttons.
Yeah.
It's a Shark-Q, Scuff, or any of that type of brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drop shotting's back.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Like, and it's as OP as ever. Like,
I know. I found myself kind of doing that a little bit, like with the sniper kits and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and the larger 2v2 maps, and I thought that was pretty dope. So,
especially in tight angles, like it was very good. Like if you there's a map where you're inside like a warehouse, I can't remember what it's called.
yeah, and it's got like
if you
the
went
little
for
center,
Yeah.
the little center ledge you can go up on top of.
Yeah, you can just drop down right in the corner and turn around. The movement system's clunky, but it works.
Yeah. So with what we experienced, I mean, do you see yourself playing the 2v2 mode very much in the full release of the game?
After a while, I do see myself playing it. Just when there's like me and a buddy online, like me and you, or me or another friend online, and we don't want to go dumb hard. We just want to play and chill. 2v2. All right, small maps, like easy, fast rounds. Time limit. The capture the flag bit's good. I like the little capture the flag bit that comes up after a while, like because then it stops people from camping, which was a big problem for me in Black Ops 4. Like people just camping at the back of the map or in a building, and then so that capture the flag mode, it needs tweaking a little bit because I think it's too short. Like the flag comes up and one if you have to run to it straight away.
Because what was it, like 5 seconds? It was like 5 to 10 seconds. So it was really quick.
But they capped it so like if somebody got on it, like it was 2.5 seconds, and they've capped it. You're like halfway across the map because you're pre-aiming something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so yeah, you had to move very quickly. So, I personally, I didn't really particularly care for the 2v2 myself. Now I could see myself playing that if, for the exact reason that you just said. Because how many times have we been like, hey, I just want to hop on after stream or whatever. I want to play a little bit of, I'm just looking at my PlayStation right now, see Ghost. Like, I want to play some Ghost. But you keep getting those lobbies where they're just, you know, you're just getting the sweats after the sweats after the sweats. There is no casual play. And one thing that I really noticed about that 2v2 mode is people seem to play that a lot more tactically, in the sense of like, yeah, you have to like really be on your game, but you can kind of like goof off as well and have a good time, and you don't have to go so hard. So that seems to me like it would be kind of like a nice little break. So I kind of hope that feeling kind of rolls over into the full release of the game. Now, as far as the beta goes, you know, they'll probably do the standard like team deathmatch, you know, domination, some search and destroy, stuff like that, like we seen with Black Ops 4, but
In the
um,
second week, they added in the Black Ops 4 at least they added a hard point and another mode, kill confirmed.
yeah, you're
They
right. They
added-
did do that. And another thing that I find to be interesting, that not a lot of people are super talking about that as far as anymore is the crossplay. So everybody that is not aware, really quick, that's watching this video, to clarify, so crossplay will be a thing in the full release of the game. So basically, if you have a buddy that's on Xbox, you're on PlayStation or PC, you will be able to play with those friends. And essentially how that will work is it's all input based. So let's say I'm on PlayStation, Clay's on Xbox, and another one of our friends is on the PC, and they're playing with a controller. So whoever's the party leader will invite each individual player, and then based on your input, so let's say that we're all using scuffs, it's going to party us up with other people using controllers. Now, if our homeboy on the PC is using keyboard and mouse, well, we're either going to have to plug keyboard and mouse up to our systems, or we're going to have to get good, because it's going to pair us up with other people on a keyboard and mouse. At least that's what I'm interpreting it as. So I find that to be unique. It's going to be something new. This is something we've been asking for ever since I can remember, whenever like COD multiplayer has gotten really, really big, at least since like Modern Warfare 2. I do hear a lot of people complaining about it and like this and that, and I'm honestly like kind of ashamed of the community for the fact that so many people were complaining about it. But I think it's going to be pretty amazing. So it's just as long as they deliver the matchmaking right with it. That's the only concern right now for me.
Yeah, the hard thing that they're going to find is balance between PC and console, because obviously PC's got higher frames. They've got you have more controlled fire. Like you can put the gun on single shot mode as well in this COD.
Yeah, you can.
So I've seen like players like Shroud, Doctor Disrespect be able to tap fire that faster than you could full auto it, and because it's tap fire, it's more accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how they're going to balance that out. And in my personal opinion, your aim's a lot better with mouse and keyboard, because it's you controlling like your whole hand controlling the mouse instead of just your thumb.
I think
controlling a thumbstick.
I agree
But
with
then
that, and
we also have aim assist.
That's what
unlike
I was going to
PC.
say is like I agree, but also I think something that's a competitor for it, a big competitor for that is aim assist, because I did notice in the settings when I was like going through while streaming the alphas, like because we had a buddy APOC, he was fooling around with mouse and keyboard and kind of like describing the experience with it, and it seems like there's like a built-in acceleration with the mouse and stuff, so like it's gonna be different
for different weapons. He was saying like the sniper had a slower acceleration than the MP9.
Yeah, so it sounds to me like, as far as if they carry that over, if that is true, it's gonna make the keyboard and mouse players learn the guns. It's gonna make them learn and master the weapons that they want to use. It's not gonna be like they can
CS:GO.
just say what?
Like CS:GO, you have to like the recoil patterns in CS:GO or Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. So I like that. I think that's where we're gonna see the balancing specifically. So I find that to be, personally, I hope they carry that over if it's gonna help create more of a balanced play style or experience for guys like me that are garbage with a mouse and keyboard with shooters.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that. But so, and then the other things too is like map size. No map size. There's no UA or mini map unless you get like a personal or a team UAV, which are kill streak based. Which that's another thing. I'm curious to know how you feel about it, Clay. Me personally, I'm stoked for kill streaks. I grew up on kill streaks. You
didn't like squad streaks in Black Ops 4, did you?
No.
Yeah, because people just can camp back spawn, get objective points, and just like sit down in a corner and get objective points. Kill streaks are the way. Yeah, I
Well-
believe kill streaks are the way.
Well, it's like this. You're never gonna escape people camping to get kills. That's always gonna be a thing. But whenever you attach points to camping an objective, or camping a hard point, or camping whatever,
Or specialist points, like even if you
specialist
put, like,
points, people
that
are
was
gonna
stupid.
they're gonna camp they're gonna sit on, like, I understand it's to increase the concept of play the objective, play the objective in domination, play the objective in hard point and stuff like that. But the fact is like,
it rewards shitters.
yeah, I mean, you get a lot of people that just want to lay on the hill, and then they use like the cheapest class that they can possibly use that doesn't really require a lot of skill, and then it's
Recon.
borderline impossible to break that. You know, if you have a really good player that's using that kind of cheap setup, you know, and it's like it's that saying of like, well, if it's in the game, it's not cheating if you use, the old Halo debate, like with the rocket launchers and stuff.
Yeah. It's in the
So-
game, so why are we not allowed to use it? That's why Gentleman's
Yeah.
Agreement was around.
Yeah.
Like-
So, I mean, you could argue that case too with it, but I mean, it's still frustrating regardless. But so
Moving from specialist to operators. I don't know if have you seen the operators, the picture?
yeah, they look badass, dude. They look.
Because there's two sets. Well, there's three sets in both categories. So obviously in the alpha we saw the two main teams, Coalition and Allegiance was the two sides, like red and blue. Coalition and Allegiance, what they were called. In Coalition, I know there's the default, which is
Mhm.
just a basic. There's the SAS, which is the Secret Air Service, if you do not know that. There's
Yeah.
Warcom and Demon Dogs, which Demon Dogs look like angry bikers. Like the main Demon Dogs character, or operator, I should say, wears a badass red bandana, cool like Hulk Hogan glasses, and he's got the Hulk Hogan mustache, and he just looks badass. And then they released a Snapchat character, which you could lock through the QR code that they had on their page on Snapchat, and it was he was Russian, he was Spetsnaz, so it says Spetsnaz are in the game as well, which were probably on Allegiance.
Yeah, you were telling me about
so-
that earlier.
Yeah, his name's Minotaur or Minotaur. He's Russian, Spetsnaz, but you don't find out much about him. He looks badass.
He's secretive. So,
But it's just like Spetsnaz in real life. Nobody knows really what goes on with Spetsnaz.
yeah, nobody really knows much about those guys. They're super top secret. They're Russians. They're Russia's badasses.
The one thing about the alpha that I have to say I hated was the RPG, not the RPG, the rocket launcher.
Oh my
they
god,
had
yeah.
The LMG. The amount of times I got spammed with that.
Yeah, I
like,
really
sad.
hope that they don't leave that in that mode. Part of me feels like that was to introduce the weapons to us, so hopefully that does not roll over into 2v2, because that I mean, could you imagine that you got four guys up on stage playing for, like, this championship, however they're going to do it. I know they're franchising, but I'll be honest, I haven't really kept up with it since the season ended for CWL. But I mean, they're up there, and then you got four guys, with their ARs and then their rocket launchers, and then they're, some guy wins because he rocket launches somebody's, shot once or twice, and instead of, playing it out, pulls out his RPG or whatever and just shoots them and blows them up. It's like, well, all right, cool, we just won.
Yeah.
I mean, what a way to win, right? So, but
Like but I think if it's anything like the Black Ops 4 competitive scene, half the game will be Gentleman's Agreement again.
oh yeah, I think I'll always give that kind of like respect to those guys, because there were so many things that definitely should have been banned that were not, and then everybody, just like you said, had that gentleman's agreement. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're not stooping to that level.
Like in Black Ops 4, it was like the Mozu got GA'd, the attack helicopter got GA'd, this, that, the other, which screwed Elevate over. We was watching the Elevate game, weren't we? And Emery's got a attack chopper, and you was wondering why you didn't call it in
yeah,
on oh, I can't remember the map. Not Hacienda. I can't remember the map. It was Hardpoint. He was like,
Yeah.
call it in, because they would have won, and they lost because he couldn't call it in.
Yeah. And the whole reason he didn't was because of that. Because of that.
Gentleman's agreement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of that. And I was like, damn it, man. He's more of a professional than I am. I would have just called that shit in.
Yeah. Morals or gentleman's agreement.
Yep. But that's what separates the pros from the casual pub stompers.
Because that's our first instinct. Like, we've not been in that situation where
Mhm.
oh no, I can't use this, but I've got it.
Yeah, I know exactly. It's very interesting. But so, yeah, I'm pretty stoked for this game. I think they're gonna roll a lot of cool stuff over based on what we've seen and what we felt. They showed and revealed a lot of the cool calling cards. We've seen like motion-based calling cards. So like they were animated. Emblems are animated, so I don't know if that means they're going to allow us to create our own emblems. If they do, cool. If not, I still liked what I saw, and I thought there were some really cool ones.
Well, I have a little list here of what Charlie Intel, pretty good source on Twitter, says is going to be in the beta. He's really good friends with the guys over at Call of Duty. He gets to know everything early. The beta content is going to consist of the gunfight 2v2 mode. Sorry.
Okay.
Which from the alpha we already knew that was going to be in there because they can't just leave it out now in the beta.
Absolutely.
6v6 maps are going to be in there. So 6v6 is a thing still in pubs
Sweet.
or public lobbies. So yeah, get 6 friends. You and plus 5 friends and just absolutely have fun. Larger player count modes. So
I think that's great because the worst decision they made with BO4 was making it 5v5.
In objective mode though only. TDM was 6v6 on there.
Yeah.
It was SD and Hardpoint and Domination that was 5v5, I'm pretty sure. But Gunsmith weapon customization system.
Oh, so they're bringing that into the beta.
Yeah.
Dude, hell yeah, man.
The difference between last year and this year is the gun's fully customizable.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just like one little like slight change like with the barrel for example. Like if you like change the barrel, it doesn't just change the length. Like it may fully change the whole design of the way the gun looks.
I can't remember the weapon that it was on, but it was the weapon that could turn from a submachine gun to an AR. I can't remember when you had the sniper class.
That was like their version of like what the Peacekeeper was. It was like the M13, right? It was like M13.
Yeah, M13. I think it was M13. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that gun literally looked just like the Peacekeeper.
Yeah, if you had a small barrel on it, it shot fast. Looked like a submachine gun. And then when you got it as its own primary weapon, it had a sight on it, had a big stock, a bigger magazine, a bigger barrel, everything, and it just looked a lot bigger and meaner as a weapon. It seemed like it kicked more and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to that.
But with that increase, and it being a little bit meaner, you felt the results of that slight change though. So I'm really looking forward to the Gunsmith. I'm excited to see what they're doing, and then on top, to kind of top all of this off, because we're rolling into about 24 minutes now on this video, but to kind of top all of this off and this is coming from Call of Duty, Infinity Ward themselves. They're focusing on fun with this game, and I think that's something that the entire franchise has missed since Black Ops 2. Honestly, and I'm not a big Black Ops 2 fan. I thought it was a great game. It was not my favorite by any means. I preferred Black Ops 1 over 2 personally, just because of the setting, the size of the maps, the weapons, the way contracts worked. You had that in-game currency credits, they called it, so, and you could do wager matches with them and stuff like that. And I think those were the days of focusing on really having fun with the game, developing it, playing it, focusing on the people buying the game, not the pros. I think those days have been gone for a really long time, but I really feel and I hope that they're kind of going back to that core root with Modern Warfare 2019 or 2020, whatever they're calling it, 2019. And I feel like they will. Obviously, we're going to experience a lot of microtransactions and stuff like that. So you know, go ahead and go into it knowing that, I feel like, but also
Keep your wallet
understand.
safe.
Yeah, I mean, but also understand that they themselves even said they're focusing more on having fun, not balancing, and I put that in quotes, balancing everything out. So I think that that's a big important thing that the franchise has needed for a very long time.
One thing I want to ask you is with the weapon unlocking, do you feel it should be like ghost unlocking where you could buy everything if you had enough squad points, or do you feel it should be unlocked through level
I mean,
or through currency? Like if you like in Black Ops 1, you saying where you earn money throughout games and wages and stuff like that, sticks and stones.
the thing
That those type where you can win money and then you can buy weapons and you have to choose very specifically what weapon you want to buy.
See, I liked that about Black Ops. I liked it about Ghost. I don't know for as far as a progress system, how I feel about it, because in Ghost, like I always like whenever I play Call of Duty Ghost, I just feel like I'm playing the play because I like enjoy that playing it, right? And I want to play it. I don't really feel like I'm unlocking anything when I play it. That's the only thing about Ghost and Black Ops 1 when it comes to unlocking weapons. The thing that was nice about Black Ops 1, if I remember correctly, I could be remembering wrong, but I'm pretty sure like you had to, like, let's say you wanted the, you know, the Galil, right? You had to be like, I'm pretty sure if I recall right, you had to be a certain level and then you had to purchase it with the credits.
Yeah. With
So I
Black
liked
Ops 1.
that about Black Ops 1, and I wouldn't have a problem with something like that again, because I definitely think, you know, there needs to be something to motivate you to put time into, like, grind to level up. Because at that, you know, the thing about Ghost was just kind of like, I'm not really working to unlock anything. I'm just playing the game, which isn't really true because there's challenges and stuff for the camos, but it doesn't feel like you're really working towards that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing I also liked about Black Ops 1 was like the weapons, like the Commando, which was one of the last weapons you unlocked, and the Stoner 63, if you remember that
Oh
one.
my God, yes, the Stoner 63. That thing was a monster.
The G11.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
all these
yeah.
weapons, like the last few weapons that you had to unlock, and it was unlocked. I can't remember how it was unlocked by level. Was it? It had to be like certain prestige.
Yeah, you had to be like a high enough prestige and a certain level within it. Then you had to like have everything else before it unlocked, so you couldn't just like skip down and buy it. And
You had to buy every other weapon.
yeah, it was so dope, man. So I really hope that they bring that level of creativity into this new one. But guys, I'm super stoked for this beta. I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys have kind of enjoyed this format. It's something different. Clay, thanks for like hanging out and chatting. And I hope you guys enjoyed this Call of Duty Infinite Warfare gameplay. And tomorrow I'm pretty stoked. We're going to get a lot of recording done over the weekend with this beta. I know I'll be streaming it and playing it a lot. I'm off of work on Friday. So, you know, expect to see me doing a lot of streaming with that, recording, as well as I know Clay, he's going to be busting ass, putting a lot of time in this weekend too.
One thing I want to ask, like, if you're going to be playing the beta this weekend, let us know what you liked about the alpha. Let us know what you would like to see in the beta. And if you're listening to this or watching this whilst playing the beta, tell us what you like about the beta right now at this moment. Like,
Yeah,
is it the
absolutely.
gunplay, or is it the character customization, or the calling cards? Even the smallest details of, like, I'm a big visual guy, and Modern Warfare looks beautiful.
It looked
Simply
absolutely
beautiful.
gorgeous to me. Yeah, and I'm right there with you, man. Like, you know, and share what you think should roll over into the full game and what should not be in the full game. I think, you know, if we focus on a good balance of positives and the things that, and as well as, I guess you could say, the negatives as far as what needs to maybe be taken out or removed or fixed, I think that speaks in louder volumes than just going out and complaining on Twitter and stuff like that too.
So if you agree or disagree with us, just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys so much. If you would, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't yet, and have a wonderful, excellent day.
Stand by.